Hello YouTube viewers, this is Collector 513 again with another collection video. This is of my Street Fighter collection. This is the second biggest video game collection I have besides Resident Evil. So yeah, it will be from Nintendo, Super Nintendo, I would do it in chronological order, alphabetical order. So, let's get started. I have a lot to get through, so bear with me. Street Fighter 2. This was the very first Street Fighter game I've ever played and got for Super Nintendo. I still play it. I love the nostalgia. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Super Street Fighter 2. Thought that was an amazing game, bringing all the new characters. Oh man, it was amazing. Loved it. Street Fighter Alpha 2. And that is all for Super Nintendo. Now let's move on to the Nintendo GameCube. Capcom vs. SNK 2 EO. And that is it for GameCube. Let's move on to Nintendo Wii. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom Ultimate All-Stars. If you want to know how it looks, that's how it looks. A lot of people don't know about this. A very fun game. That is all for Nintendo Wii. Now let's move on to the Sega universe. Sega Saturn Street Fighter Collection. And this has both the disc in there. And Street Fighter Alpha Warrior's Dream. Done with Sega Saturn. Now we're ready for Sega Genesis. I did this out of order. Sega Genesis before Saturn. Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition. Wish I had the box art of this. That'd be nice. So nice. Super Street Fighter 2. This version is very watered down compared to the Super Nintendo version. Now let's move on to Dreamcast game. Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Street Fighter 3 Double Impact. This has two Street Fighters on it. The new generation and the second impact. And the last Sega Dreamcast Street Fighter game. Street Fighter Alpha 3. Alright, now I'll share my PlayStation Street Fighter games. Pocket Fighter. X-Men vs. Street Fighter. This is on top of all the other games because it's called Marvel Comics X-Men vs. Street Fighter. That's why I got it up top of all the other Street Fighter games on PlayStation. Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. Street Fighter Alpha 2. Street Fighter Alpha 3. Street Fighter Collection. Street Fighter Collection 2. Street Fighter EX Plus Alpha. I did have EX2, but I traded it in for Metal Gear Solid at the time. A Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. And that is it for PlayStation Street Fighter games. Now let's move on to PS2. Capcom Fighting Evolution. Capcom vs. SNK 2. Mark of the Millennium. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I need this for Xbox. Street Fighter Alpha Anthology. And if you want to know what this have on it, there we go. Street Fighter Alpha 1, 2, 3, Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold, and Pocket Fighter, which was called Gem Fighter. Also called Gem Fighter. Street Fighter Anniversary Collection. If you want to know what this has on it, there we go. It only has 2 games on it. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike and Street Fighter 2 the Anniversary Edition. The Hyper version. There we go. And last for PS2. Last game. Street Fighter EX3. Okay, let's move on to PS3. Street Fighter 4. Super Street Fighter 4. Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. Ultra Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter X Tekken. Now we're done with PS3 Street Fighters. Now we're moving on to PS4. Street Fighter 5. This is my favorite Street Fighter game of all time. Street Fighter Anniversary. Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. I will show you why this is my favorite Street Fighter. Well, this is why. Because it has literally every single Street Fighter on it. All of them. I will show you. Street Fighter 1, 2, 3. All the versions of 2, sorry. Super Street Fighter, literally every version of 2. All the alphas. Even the Dreamcast versions. I mean, you can't go wrong with this. Literally, every single Street Fighter game is on here. Literally. So I'm done with Street Fighter with PS4. So let's move on to PS5. The only Street Fighter game that was released on PS5, Street Fighter 6. I haven't even played this yet. Still gotta play that. Now we're moving on to PSP. Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max. Now we're done with PSP. Then move on to Game Boy Color. And one Game Boy Color, Street Fighter Alpha. Everybody's wondering what this looks like. There we go. That's what it looks like on Game Boy Color. Yeah, okay, we're done with Game Boy Color, and let's move on to Nintendo 3DS. There we go. This is a lenticular cover art, but it's not moving. As you can see, it's a cover. Yep. I think that's really cool. Now let's move on to Xbox. SVC Chaos. SNK versus Capcom. This is the only Xbox Street Fighter game I have. Now let's move on to Xbox 360. Street Fighter 4. This is the only Street Fighter game I have on 360. Now we're done with the games and move on to the movies. Street Fighter, The Legend of Chun-Li. And I love this animated movie. Seen it over 100 times. Love it so much. Street Fighter 2, the animated movie. Some people are wondering, hey, what is this? Here we go. No, it's this one. I love this movie. There's all the chapters. Awesome movie. Okay, that is my Street Fighter collection. My movies and my video games of Street Fighter. Thank you all so much again for watching, subscribing, supporting. It's amazing. I went from 0 subscribers to almost 500. Thank you guys so much. Thank you all so much. Collector 513 out.